Hey everybody, it's the end of the week, Saturday today, and we celebrate during the liturgy of the Eucharist the memorial of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. If you read the text today, it's taken from Luke chapter 2 verse 41 to 51, and it really talks about the finding of our Lord Jesus in the temple. Now when I read this text, I always say, if my mother, certainly my mother would not hesitate to give me a resounding whack if after looking for me for 3 days, I said to her, why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my father's house? I would have got one whack over my head. My mother is a saintly woman. She's not very well these days. She's a very saintly woman. But she would have, I think, just given in to the stress of searching for me. And as a punishment, I think she would have left me for another 3 days and said, go stay in your father's house there and eat in your father's house. But I think all mothers would have done that out of great love and concern for a child who would be lost. But look at Mother Mary, and not to compare our earthly mothers with our heavenly mother, but just to look to Mother Mary for more guidance in everything we do. And when we look at her, Mary is gentle in heart, and that gentleness is communicated in the words when she says, Son, why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been looking for you with great anxiety. She was anxious. Yeah, she was worried. She was tremendously stressed out. And yet she was calm. Even more, we are told at the end of all of this that Mary kept all these things in her heart. And it is this heart of a mother and the heart of a disciple that we are celebrating in the Feast of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, one day after the feast, the solemnity of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Now, the Feast of the Immaculate Heart of Mary has its origins in the Middle Ages, but it was actively promoted by St. John Eudes, also a native of France. Remember, St. Margaret Mary Alacoque was also from France. She promoted the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, or as we call it, the Solemnity, and St. John Eudes also promoted, who was a native of France in the 17th century, promoted this feast. Now, Mary, who we call the first disciple, is always close to her son Jesus, and so the Church honors the heart of Mary literally a day after the Solemnity of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Now, while the heart of Jesus, as I did yesterday, is given to us for imitation as a heart that loved us all, even though we were sinners who rejected his unconditional love, the heart of Mary is given to us by the Church as a model of how we should love Jesus just as Mary loved her son. Hers, we are told, is an immaculate heart, a sinless heart, and she is the only fully human person who's able to really love God in the way that he should be loved. Make no mistake, the heart of Mary is not some romanticized religious presentation of Mary, but one that fully experienced both joy and suffering. When the shepherds adored her newborn baby, we are told, once again, she pondered all these things in her heart. When the child Jesus was lost and then found, she kept all these things in her heart. And yes, Simeon also predicted that this very heart would be pierced by a sword. There could have been no greater sorrow for a mother who was also a disciple to then end up standing at the foot of the cross to watch her very son die. While the world of art might present the Blessed Virgin Mary in very soft tones and gentle hues with a gentle smile drawn on her face, our Blessed Mother in reality was a woman who experienced what I would call the rough and the tumble of life. She did not have a life of roses and peaches, yet she always remained faithful no matter what. It is this heart of fidelity for Jesus that we honor today, and it is this sinless heart filled with the love for Jesus that we are called to imitate. What a beautiful day this is, when we are called not only to reflect on the heart of Jesus, but also to look at the heart of Mary, who loved her son Jesus. Thank you for joining me. I hope you liked this video. please hit that like button, leave your comments, share this video, subscribe to our channel. If you're the first time you're watching this, I'd be surprised if you are. I'd be surprised if you're watching this every day and still not subscribed to this channel, yeah? So please do that. Thank you also for all your love for our children. I know that this video will come out, as I said, I'm in Malaysia, so I pre-recorded this. But earlier this week, there is this excellent article that has been written, and I would like to strongly recommend it. Father Cedric Prakash wrote an open letter to the bishops of India on the attacks on Christians. I'd strongly recommend it. It's up on the internet. Please read it. And I think more and more we cannot be a silent voice when it comes to the persecuted church in India. We need to speak up for our brothers and sisters. God bless you all. I'll see you on Monday as we continue with the Gospel of Matthew.